My beautiful billionaires, expose has come out again. Sandra Duru has been exposed by an American man who was an Uber driver. Mr. David ROSINSKI said that Sandra Duru accused him of trying to sleep with her after he started telling people the kind of person that she was. He said she sued him to she went to court to get a restraining order and lied to them that he was trying to sleep with her when he is in fact an agege. My people, not to waste your time, carry your popcorn, hear the expose interview when he come out for Adiola show, come talk how he take meet Sandra Duru, say Sandra Duru na lie person. In fact, me I no talk too much. People should hear from the horse's mouth. I will see you guys very soon. Cha cha.
Okay, thank you so much, David, for joining me. Thank you so much, everybody that is live right now watching this from wherever you're watching from. I really, really appreciate every single one of you. Let me just make sure that the video is live on Facebook and on YouTube and on Twitter. Awesome. Okay, so today I have a guest with me in the studio today, as you guys can see. His name is David ROSINSKI. The picture that I used in the flyer is the picture of David when he was much younger. And you still look good, by the way, David. You look
Okay.
good. So,
Okay.
but that was the picture that that was sent. So it's a picture of him when he was much younger. So don't think that this is a different person. It's still him. So David is actually a dancer, award-winning dancer, world champion, was very active in the 80s, in the 90s. And now he's a judge. He judges dance competitions. And in the past, he would also drive Uber at his free time. Not anymore, he said. But now he's a florist and he also judges dance competitions now. David is interested in Nigerian news. He lives in Massachusetts, by the way. But when he saw the story of Nigerian Senator Natasha Akpoti and Sandra Duru, Professor Mbeke, David reached out that he needs to tell his story, that he wants to talk about his experience with Sandra Duru, whom other people call Professor Mbeke. And I would also ask him at the end of this what that has to do with the story of the president, of the Senator Natasha Akpoti. So as many of you are aware, the senator has been sued, Federal Republic of Nigeria versus Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. And one of the reasons that she was sued, according to the court documents, is based on some of the claims by Sandra Duru on her Facebook live show. Anyway, so without further ado, I would just allow David to talk, to share his experience with us about Sandra Duru. David, how did you meet Sandra? Tell us what happened.
Well, I had bought a brand new van, so I wanted to make some money to pay for it. So I started Ubering. And I met her when she was in Amherst, Massachusetts. And I started Ubering her and back and forth and this and that, which was about 20 minutes from my house. But, I said, I'll do it. And she was paying me. But then she said she couldn't afford to pay me anymore. So I said, I'll still do it. So I did it. Well, then I found out about her. My friend of mine says, look online and see what it says about her with these fake, businesses and all that stuff. So then I mentioned something to her. And after that, everything fell apart. So what she did is she came up with stories that I attacked her and all this stuff so she could get a restraining order against me, which was ultimately just thrown out because she had no proof. It was all lies. And basically that's what she likes to do. When I first met her and went to court, the court people gave me 2 documents with her using 2 different names. One was Sandra Duru Ilubi and one was Sandra C. Ilubi. And she had 2 different social security numbers. Now, she had been here for 2 years. I mean, how can you have that? I have no idea. But she told me that she was like a queen in Nigeria and she was had her degree in psychology and all this stuff. And she had she was rich. Well, how can you be rich and be on Section 8, home base, and the RAF program, which is all government sponsored programs? Yet you have all this money. Plus, she was on every assistance from the government you could think of: food stamps, housing, all that stuff. She was on that. So I'm thinking, this is kind of strange. And the time I had met her, one of her children was not with her because she had something against him, like beating him or something. So she was arrested twice in Massachusetts for assaulting the police when they arrested her. And those records are there. So then I looked more into her, and I got from a friend of mine, Edith Modebi, who's also from Nigeria, warned me about her. And I got records from Nigeria about her defrauding somebody for 10 million naira and also threatened to kill this woman. So what she did is she left Nigeria and she came to Massachusetts. So when she was in Massachusetts, she was in probably like 4 or 5 different places to live. Because what she would do is she would get in one place, maybe pay the rent for a couple months, and then not pay it. And then she would move on. And she moved on, and she moved on. So eventually she now moved to Texas, Austin, Texas. She has a McBiggie, I think I'm saying it wrong, I don't know, Village Hut restaurant, which no records in Austin from the, Better Business Bureau or the government shows that as being a restaurant. So again, one of her scamming things that she does, it's just, this is what she's good at, unfortunately. Since she's been in Texas, she's had 4 different addresses. She moves, she moves, she moves. And she also has a nonprofit, says it's listed in Massachusetts. I called the state the other day, the Attorney General, and they said, that is non-compliant. She hasn't paid anything to have that in like 4 years. So I said, well, why don't you shut her down? They're like, well, we have a lot to deal with. So that was that. But she's still running it. It's called Unique Family Foundation. So she's constantly does the same thing. She lies about her money that she has. She lies about her education. She did not graduate from college. She does not have any of that stuff. I looked up the so-called university she went to in Hawaii or something. That's not true at all. But for me, the worst thing for me personally, and you can see I have this little crosshair, is she says she's God's oracle. And that is sad. She is the devil incarnated. I'm telling you. And, I shame on her for claiming that she's even a Christian. She lies about everything. And I'm sure she's lying about this senator thing in, also in Nigeria. So we have notified ICE, and they're going to see what they do. But all the stuff I'm giving you is stuff that I got and I dealt with. Other people where I live dealt with the same thing. Her moving into an apartment, owing $8,000, she walks out. She moves somewhere else, and nobody knows where she is. But I have continuously found her, and I can't believe she moved all the way to Texas. But that's where she's at now. So when I saw this story, I had this story sent to me from someone, and I says, my God, what is she doing now? She's making up things again, totally false, no proof about this poor senator. So I said, I'm going to step forward and let people know what she's all about. She is trouble. She's a liar. She's a thief. I can't say anything more because that's what she is.
Wow. Okay, David, you made a lot of allegations, a lot of claims, and I wish that I did this while you were talking, but you also sent me a number of documents to support the claims that you're making about Miss Sandra. By the way, I'm really curious about the whole sexual harassment allegation. But before you talk, you said that she falsely accused you of raping her. Now, before we get to that, I wanted to start with some of the documents that you sent to me. So you said that she has two different identities, to
Correct.
socials, to
Her name.
now the social security number has been blurred, of course.
Yes,
In this
because the
document,
police officer, he said he had to do that.
yes. So, but I just wanted to show people that you're not just saying these things. You are giving me. You actually sent me document to back up your claims. This is
Correct.
one of the identities that you said that she's claiming, and
Yep.
then the same name is also attached to this one. So it's like the same
But a
name, the
little
same
different.
age. Is oh
A little different. If you look at
yeah.
her name on the top, you know, she
So
spelled, put something, yeah.
So, but according to you, you say you spoke with the police and they told you it is the same person with two
Yep.
different social security.
Same address, if you look at it. And on this one, if you look at the bottom, you'll see the claims of her for from the DSS, Department of Social Services, because they
Right.
said she was abusing her children.
Oh, this
And
is
that's
all
on the
kinds of
bottom.
layers. Okay,
Yeah.
so people can have variation of names, but
Correct.
from what you are saying, this is two different identities, but it's actually the same person according to the police. You're saying that the police were the ones that
It's exactly the same person. Yeah.
okay, that's
Same address. If you look at the address, same address.
okay. That's not a good thing to have two different social security numbers. It's actually a crime.
Yeah.
Anyways, you also sent me. Actually, let me allow you to talk right now about the sexual harassment. I think that's what a lot of people are interested in. You said that she accused you of raping her.
Well, we were in court the last time we were in court,
Wait,
and
wait, wait. Who took who to court?
she tried to take me to court and said that I attacked her. What is funny, she had a restraining order against me, right? She moved right next door to me.
Wait,
So the judge,
after the restraining order, she moved next door to you, or before the restraining order?
well, she had three different ones. There was the original one, then she did another one, and then she did another one and moved right next to me, right next door. So I went to court.
Another what? Three restraining orders?
Because wherever she went, if I drove by her house, she called the police and she said, he's trying to attack me. And
Okay,
so
why did you drive by? Why would you drive by her house though?
we just wanted to find out where she was, where she lived, and to warn the landlord that this woman is going to do this with you. And the last place, one of the last places she was at, she accused the landlord of trying to rape her. That was the landlord. And he says, get out of here. I don't need your lies, So the last restraining order that she had,
So
she
you
said,
think you're not the only one? You think you're not the only one that she has accused of sexual harassment?
well, she accused me in court. She said, he tried to have sex with me. And I'm like, I couldn't believe it. I said to the judge, I'm gay. And the judge says, I know you are, because we have been in court before. And she said, get out of here. I don't believe that you are in fear of your life. And she kicked her out. And she was so mad, but she would say anything. I think she did that years ago to some governor in Nigeria. There's a story about her claiming that he had sex with a man or something. I don't know. But I couldn't believe she said that in court about me. She knew I was gay. She knew my roommate. I didn't make a big issue of it, but she would say anything. And the judge was like, no, get out of here. And after that, she moved. She moved somewhere else. So,
so who won the?
Oh, I did, because the last time she did not show up in court. So I got there in the morning and we're like, where is she? She's not here. So I waited till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It was 9 o'clock in the morning and she didn't show up. So that's it. She knew she couldn't win.
Help me understand it. She sued you, said you wanted to rape her, but she didn't show up in court for the hearing of her own harassment.
Right. She didn't sue me. she brought another restrainer against me saying, you have to stay away from me. And then after they saw what she said, they says, and she moved next door to me. I called the police. She said, she's right down, you know, the 2 stories down. That she can't do that. So she said, well, I had to move there because I didn't have anywhere else to go. The judge says, really? In this city, you didn't have anywhere else to go? And that's when she said, well, and also because he tried to sexually, you know, have sex with me. And I'm like, I mean, I was almost in tears because I had never heard somebody say that to me. And I'm not afraid to say I'm gay, whatever, you know.
Okay,
But
so
that's where that thing on the bottom says they released the findings. If you see it on the bottom.
okay, so she sued you, and she got restraining orders
Yep.
against you,
Yep.
and then she moved next door to you,
Yep.
and after that, she said you tried to rape her.
Well, she didn't use the word rape, but it was, I tried to have sex with her. Really?
Okay.
You know, and the
So,
judge right away said, no, this is baloney, you know, and he wrote on the thing, you know, no proof. And on the left, you can see it says it was removed. So,
okay, I'm really trying to understand. I'm trying to make sense of everything that you are saying. I mean, why would she move next door to you if she's accusing you of assaulting her and you guys have a court? I don't
it,
understand. Why would she move next door to you?
it makes no sense at all. But the woman has no fear. She has no fear of anybody. She will say what she wants. And for her to move next to me, even the police were like, what is she doing? She said she's got a restraining order against you. Stay away from her. And she moves next to me. So I showed the judge where I live, and it was probably about 300 feet to where her apartment was. And you moved next to me. So I went to court the next day. And actually, the funny thing is, she happened to be there with a case with somebody else. She's had other cases in Massachusetts with other people, not just me. This is just what she did to me. And it was let go. She said, nope. And Sandra was outside on her phone screaming at somebody. She was so upset that she got caught in a lie. In a lie, basically. But that's what her specialty is, you know.
Okay, speaking of her having other cases, you said she once assaulted a police officer. I mean, attacked a police officer.
Yeah. Suppose when I first met her, she said that the police came and took her daughter away. So she hit them. So she assaulted the police officer. That was in Amherst, Massachusetts, where she lived. And apparently another time she did it in Chicopee also, where I live.
Is this document about her assaulting the police officer?
Let me see if I can. I don't know if I can enlarge this. Criminal case, Sandra Duru. No, that's a different one. See the name on that? That's that Edith Modebi.
Okay, she has.
How did I send you that? That's Edith Modebi, and she had a thing against her too. She lived in her house when she first came here.
Okay.
And so that's the woman that eventually warned me about her. I didn't believe her at first, but let me tell you, when I found out, I was like, okay. When I started looking into things online and then hearing from people, then I knew this woman is really bad.
So you also mentioned to me that she lived in 12 different apartments within 2 years.
Yeah.
And that she lived on welfare.
That's
different from the rhetoric that she repeats, that she's, you know, very well to do and so on. Do you want to expatiate on that? And how did you know all that? So the sense I'm getting is after you guys met and you drove her a number of times, you guys became friends, right?
Yeah. I mean, mainly I was friends with her kids. She didn't like to be seen with her kids. She would say, why don't you take my son for the day and go to the park or whatever? I said, okay. Because the kid was like, wanted to get out of the house, which I found out why. She was, you know, abusing him. So, but she was never in any pictures with us. She never came to like when we had a Christmas party. Oh no, I'll just let my kid go. People thought that was strange. Why would you just let your kid go? But yeah, so I met her in Amherst, and then she got out of that apartment. She had to get out, and she went to homeless shelter, this really kind of dumpy place in Springfield, Massachusetts, which is near where I live. And I helped her move and all that stuff. And that's when I found out what she was all about. So then she started moving. And, you know, when she first moved where I live, she lost her funding for Section 8 because of fraud, I guess. And then she moved to another place, and she got something called Home Base. And she stayed there for about a year and a half. $8,000 she owed. She walked out of the place. They never went after her. And that was another project. We call them projects, you know, very, very people without jobs and all that stuff. And then now I heard she's on a called a RAFT program, which is, again, government assistance. She needs government assistance. She's got an education. She's got $2 million. Something's wrong with this picture. She will do this.
I'm gonna have you tell us how all this relates to the case of the senator. But what are we looking at? This is another document that you sent to me.
Correct. That was when she had a case against me, and the judge's name is Vega. And that was one of the first cases you can see on the top. See, Sandra Duru Alubi. So even there, she spells her name differently. It's longer. And the other two I gave you, she has Sandra Duru Alubi or Sandra C. Alubi. So she's very clever. She puts, you know, different things. And
so some people watching this would say, how do all this relate with the case of the senator that is happening right now in Nigeria?
For me, it's because I don't believe what she's saying about the senator. She lies about everything, and she has no credibility as far as I'm concerned. Everything she says has always been a lie. And after she does it, she does her damage and she moves somewhere else. And so I would like to come forward and say, hey, this is what she does. She makes up stories and she tries to get somebody in trouble. And so I said, I'm going to say something. I lived through that myself for a couple of years with her, and I wouldn't want anybody else to go through with that. And I'm very glad that you did get a hold of me about this, because I didn't know about it. So I want to thank you for that, you know.
Wait, you didn't know about what?
I didn't know about the senator case until somebody sent me a WhatsApp, that Edith Modebi.
Oh, okay.
She sent, and then I went on her McBeggy. Is that the right way to say it? McBeggy page?
Umbeke.
Yeah, and she had all of a sudden supposedly these conversations she had, and the woman's a liar, and all this stuff talking about this senator. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? I said, no, there she goes again. And she lives in the United States.
What you are saying is you believe that she has a pattern. She does this. Or let me just ask you, how would you describe her from your interactions with her?
I think she's a sociopath. She's a psychopath. She's not right. And she believes what she says. And again, she believes that she's God's oracle. It's just a big front. She's sick. I think she's a sick person, but that's me. Other people have said the same thing, because when you meet her, she's very kind and, oh, God bless you and God will take care of you. And then if you say something bad, all hell breaks loose. And I think you saw that probably on some of the McVicky page, how somebody disagreed, bang, she just attacked them. Like, you don't know what you're doing. You're an idiot, da, da, da. This is what she does. She does not like to get found out. That's why she kept on moving different locations, so they couldn't find her.
There's one of the documents, which is actually like a case against her in Nigeria, from what I'm seeing.
Correct. That's the one that she was accused of stealing from that Edith Edidot or whatever. And then also said she would kill her or assassinate her character. We got 2 of those from Nigeria. I mean, this is one of them. And the other one says that they're looking for her to arrest her.
In Nigeria?
Yep. The other one I sent you, there's one that says the police are look for their woman and bring her in.
Arrest warrant, something like this one. Warrants to arrest.
Correct. That's for that case. And that's 2000.
Arrest warrants in Nigeria as of 2017.
Yep, in Lagos. And it was right after that she came here.
Wait, so actually this is 2016 and that she's supposed to appear
in 2017
by July 2017. So because I think that she actually moved to the US in 2016. So
right, she didn't appear on this 2017 July. She was already gone.
So you think she escaped arrest from Nigeria when she came here?
Yeah, she came, I think, and because of the documents, she came here. She failed to appear because she knew they were probably going to bring her into court and get in trouble. So she came here. And that's what she did. I mean, I believe she could. Why couldn't she? I mean, unfortunately, we've brought a lot of people into this country, and she did that. Then there's the documents, and all of a sudden she showed up in the United States. And she was pregnant. So about 2 months after she came here, she had a baby. She already had 2 children, but she had a baby.
Okay, I mean, these are strong allegations, supported with documents that Miss Sandra was actually wanted for something in Nigeria when she came here in 2016. This is okay.
I mean, I guess you could check it with the courts because that's
in Nigeria.
Yeah, and it was in Lagos, I guess. I don't know where Lagos is, but
okay. So, you said at the beginning of this interview that you contacted ICE. What's that about?
Well, put it this way: I've got a call into ICE. They haven't called me back yet because ICE right now is removing.
You're contacting the U.S. immigration.
Correct. Because right now we're removing a lot of people from this country, like her. So you have to contact ICE to let them know what she's doing and what she's all about. And I'll give them all these records and everything. So I called, but I couldn't get through the other day. But I will try. I will do next couple of days. They're very busy removing a lot of people and sending them back to where they came from, especially those who have these kind of documents, that they're looking for somebody. So,
wow. Okay.
But again, it's hard to find them if they don't know where they live. I think the last document, one of them I gave you, shows her current address. Now, this is maybe a week after. She might have moved somewhere, but she's still in Texas. So, we will find her some way. I don't want people to go through what I went through and what she's trying to do to this senator. It's just lies. And I'm sure if she sees this, she'll say, oh, he's lying. Well, look at all the things I have about you. And if you want to, bring that up, go ahead. She'll probably try, but you know what? I don't really care. I just know what the truth is. And she doesn't know what the truth is, in my opinion. So, I mean, I lived through this, so,
Wow. That's a lot of court documents in a lot of cases by you. I mean,
there's more that are not with me. There's more with other people, but I couldn't get those because they won't give them to me.
What do you mean other people? Because in the course of this interview, we saw the one with you, one where she assaulted a police officer, one with the woman that you said she stayed with when she arrived, one where she's allegedly wanted in Nigeria as of 2016. But now you're saying that there are other people?
Yeah, she has other people that when she moved next door to them, they found out about her, and she brought a restraining order against them. And one of them, it was interesting, was a black family. They're not from Nigeria, they're from here. And she claimed that they called her son all these racist names. They were black. No, they knew what it was all about, and she brought a restraining order against them, and they lived right next door. They had to move. So there are other ones that I'm not involved in, but other people had to do that with her, because that's what she does. And
Okay,
most
so
of them just walk away. They don't want to have anything to do with her.
so are you aware that the Sandra that you're talking about, that she is now listed as a witness in the lawsuit against the senator?
Yes, that's what I saw when I went on her page, and I'm like, what the heck is going on here? What? She lives in the United States. What's going on? But I don't know. You know, she claims over there she lived. She told us that she lived in like a big mansion, and she had servants and all this stuff. Yeah, it was funny. I'll tell you this quickly. I was driving her one day, Ubering her, and the bus went by in the town she was at. I says, why don't you take the bus? She goes, oh no, that's below me. I'm royalty. I wouldn't take a bus. And I'm like, well, okay, that sounds a little funny, you know. But this is what she is. She told people that she was royalty, and she tried to live that way, and it's all lies. All lies. I mean, look at her McBiggie page and see her artificial intelligence pictures. No, she does not look like that at all. But she puts it out that she's got beautiful clothes, the hair, the make. It's not her at all. Not her at all.
By the way, whenever David says big, what did you say just now? You were actually
McBiggie.
trying. Okay, you were trying to say mbeke. Okay.
Yeah.
There's one last thing that I wanted to share from the documents that you had sent to me. Hold on, I'm just trying to go through. But while I'm looking for that particular document, you also, real quick, you made mention that she was, at the time, she was on food stamp, but that she didn't want to be seen with the food stamp, so she would send you to go grocery shopping for her using the food stamp.
Correct. It's a card, and you're not supposed to give anybody your code to your card. So she gave me the code. She goes, "Oh, can you go shopping for me?" Da 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 da. She didn't want to be seen. She didn't want to be seen. You know, people to see her to think that she was on assistance. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of strange. So, and you're not supposed to give anybody. So I would go shopping for her and she make a list, and I would do that. But again, I didn't know what she was all about. But that's not legal to do what she did. You don't give anybody, especially somebody that's not related to you, you don't give them the number of your food card, your food stamp card. And then I used to bring her all the time to what they call the food kitchen, where you would get free food and everything. We'd go every week, a couple places, and she'd get free vegetables, free meat. It's called the soup kitchen over here. And it's where the people go that don't have a job and they don't have any money. Well, she took advantage of that, because they don't ask questions when you go there. They don't ask you if you have money, what you do. They just give you these things, you know.
So just to be clear for people that may be watching, there's absolutely nothing wrong in living on food stamp or, going to soup kitchens if you are genuinely in need.
Correct. That's why you have them. That's why they give them to you, because you don't have the money to pay for food. So she knew all the government programs and she would take advantage of them.
So, but what you are saying, David, is that she was taking advantage of those programs. It wasn't. Was she not working when you knew her? Was she not working?
Look, she never worked that I heard of. I found out she worked at McDonald's maybe for a week. And I went to the McDonald's and I talked to the guy. He says, oh yeah, she was only here for about a week. And then she tried to do things, so we got rid of her. But she wasn't working.
David, why did you keep going everywhere she worked or everywhere she lived? Why did you keep going?
Because I wanted to warn people about what she does. I would want somebody to warn me. If somebody had warned me, that would have been great. So she did not like the idea that people found out what she really did. And she was very upset that she tried to shut me up. And it's like, no, you're not going to do these people what you did to me. So that's why that's why I looked for her. I said, nope, I'm not, there's a saying, it's a famous saying that, it's good if then evil succeeds. There's a true saying. So if I say nothing and people say nothing, then they get away with it. And I'm like, nope, ain't gonna happen with me.
You told me before this interview, you said that she screwed you up and you want to make sure that she doesn't screw up others. So basically,
Other people.
that's what you
Exactly.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So the last thing that I just want to pull up for people to see before I let you go is that you had posted something on Facebook at a time, and someone replied, but also Sandra also replied. And I'm just putting up her response just for people to see that she knows you, so that they won't, because if tomorrow she says that, I don't know who that is, he made up everything. This was, I don't know what year this was, but she had written, David ROSINSKI, the Uber driver, is frustrated with his girlfriend, Edith. So this was her comment on that, something that you had written and she didn't agree with. But I'm only putting this up as a confirmation based on what you had said and based on the documents that you sent to me, that she knows who you are. So
yeah, she knew Edith. Edith is the woman that she came here first and lived with. And then Edith warned me about her. Yeah, and Edith came to court with me, so she hated Edith. So she's trying to make up this story like, Edith is my girlfriend? Really? And you see what she put, I mean, it doesn't matter. She'll lie about anything, anytime. And,
thank you so much, David. Is there anything that I didn't ask that you want to talk about? I don't know if this could be of help for the Nigerian government and if they are, investigating her, because now the same Nigerian government is listing her as a witness. The Nigerian government that should be investigating her based on all the allegations that you came up with today, the same government is listing her as a witness, but at least you're doing your bit and putting it out there for the people.
Yeah, so. Yeah. I mean, she's not very credible. She's not credible. So I hope they look at that and say, she lies. She lies. So
is there anything that I didn't ask that you would like to say before I let you
go? I mean, thank you for getting a hold of me, be able to do this. I appreciate it. I'm glad to speak out against people like her, because she'll keep on doing it, and I don't want to see that.
All right, thank you so much, David. Thank you so much, everybody that joined. People have asked a lot of questions. I normally did not take any questions. I don't want it to get rowdy, but I will take this one from Precious. Please ask him if other victims in Massachusetts would be willing to share their painful ordeal with Scamdra. I don't know. Oh, I guess Sandra is who she wrote as Scamdra.
I love that. I love that. There was a guy who was her landlord when she was in Amherst, and I got a hold of him after she did this, and he said, I want nothing to do with her. So this is the problem. Some of those people, they don't want to say anything. They were scared of her. I'm not as scared of her. Edith is the one who would probably tell you. And I think I sent you Edith's number, or, finding her on Facebook, because she knows of things. But other people just wanted her out of their life. She made it so miserable. They says, I don't care. I don't care. I don't want to deal with her. But I'm like, well, she keeps on doing it to people. So there were other victims. Yeah.
I see. So maybe those other people will share their story maybe on their pages or something. I'm not sure. But thank you so much, David. It's nice having you on the show. Have a wonderful rest of the day.
Okay. Thank you.